Hey everybody, David Henry here from LearnStageLighting.com, and in this video I want to talk about HTP, LTP, and why you should care. So if you're using a professional lighting console or even a PC software that might not be professional these days, you might run into the terms HTP for highest takes precedence or LTP for latest takes precedence. So what's the difference and why should you care? Well, when I was first starting in lighting, I was working on theater style controllers like the ETC Expression, Insight, and Express series consoles and Leprechaun consoles as well. And these consoles were fairly basic, but really effective at controlling conventional lights. If you had a channel on the console, or a submaster with that channel on it, and it was at full, then no matter what you did with other faders that may affect that channel, it was going to stay at full. When a given light was put on multiple faders on this console, whichever fader was the highest would get the output. This is called, as you can imagine, HTP, or highest takes precedence. Because it's saying, the console's saying, hey, when I bring this light up to full, when I have this light up at full, or whatever fader has this light the highest, is going to win the output. And even if I move other faders that have that light on it, it's as long as another fader doesn't push the light higher than it already is, it's not going to change. It's purely additive in that respect. And so then I learned moving light consoles. I began with the Hog 2, and I quickly learned that the way that I was used to working with HTP was not the default way that a lot of consoles that control moving lights work. And there's really good reason for that. Because with a moving light or an LED, you're often controlling color, gobos, prisms, etc. And let's face it, blue is not a higher value than green. And, orange is not a lower value than blue. While you may have a fixture with a color wheel where orange is lower on the DMX scale than blue, the actual, percentage, what the light does is not greater in one color or another. So we have latest takes precedence, where in a moving light style console, or something that controls moving lights, whatever the most recent action from a fader, from a playback, from a cue, whatever that most recent action is, whatever the latest action is what wins the output. Okay? And when you're working in these types of consoles, you often have the ability to set intensities maybe to HTP so you could still work with the overall level as HTP, or leave everything as LTP. Now, that's going to be a console by console thing. Some consoles like AVL lights are always going to run intensities in HTP, and which is my favorite thing, because I learned on a Hog, that was my first console, and Hogs and Grid MA and Onyx default to running everything in LTP. And so when we talk about these two ways of doing things, HTP and LTP, what I really want to drive home for you is this. If you're coming from an HTP background, remember that as you begin to work with moving lights and things like that, LTP is going to be a better way to work. And instead of thinking about turning off lights or turning things down or deactivating them, you actually just want to think about activating something new that's going to take over. And if you've worked with LTP, if you've worked with software and moving light consoles and stuff like that, then if you do come into a situation where you're touching a console that has HTP for intensity, or maybe for all the parameters, then just remember that as you think about changing to the next scene, you're going to want to think about not only adding in what's new, but also pulling back on what's old. So I hope this helps you. And if you want more info, I've got a full post on LearnStageLighting.com that's going to talk you through HTP, LTP, and why you should care, because it's actually really important and your show depends on it. Also, be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and click the bell so you get the latest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.